After decades of research, construction, and a Christmas Day launch, we are getting more full-color images from the James Webb Space Telescope.
The James Webb Space Telescope had already stunned the world with its unprecedented ability to peer deep into the cosmos, capturing light that had traveled for over 13 billion years. Yet, nothing prepared humanity for what it revealed next. This wasn't just a new exoplanet, a distant galaxy, or even the remnants of a dying star. What Webb discovered shook the very foundation of our understanding of the universe and stopped the world in its tracks. It wasn't just another scientific milestone. It was the kind of discovery that makes time feel like it has paused, that unites billions in stunned silence, and that forever splits human history into a before and an after. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The discovery began as a routine deep-field observation. Webb had been focused on a remote region of space, far beyond anything previously resolved, looking to understand the formation of the earliest galaxies. Astronomers expected to find ancient faint light from the early universe. What they found instead was a structure, an object, unlike anything recorded before. It emitted a signal so precise, so repeated, and so structured that it defied all known natural phenomena. At first, the team suspected an instrumentation error. Signals in space can be misleading. They can be artifacts of interference, data compression anomalies, or software glitches, but after rigorous checking across multiple redundant systems and extended peer verification, it became clear the data was real. This signal originated from a point roughly 13.5 billion light-years away, placing it dangerously close to the edge of the observable universe. Yet it did not resemble anything typical of cosmic microwave background distortions, or the light patterns from a galaxy's core. Instead, the signal followed a consistent pattern, repeating in cycles of prime number sequences, modulated in intensity as if transmitting an embedded code. The repeating bursts spanned electromagnetic frequencies in a manner that mirrored computational logic, far removed from any astrophysical phenomenon. Scientists across global institutions were stunned. The signal's origin, its form, its rhythm, none of it was random, it was intentional. What chilled researchers even more was the scale. The structure from which the signal originated, measured by gravitational lensing and energy emissions, was colossal. Far larger than any known galaxy cluster, it was laid out in a configuration that mirrored a lattice-like network with symmetrical nodes connected by what appeared to be luminous corridors of directed energy. The architecture did not match any known cosmic formations. Natural laws don't build in straight lines or with sharp angles. This did. Within weeks, multiple space agencies trained their most powerful sensors toward the coordinates. Spectrographic analysis revealed materials that didn't align with known atomic signatures. It was as if the structure was built out of elements not present on the periodic table. Even the radiation surrounding it was unusual. There was no stellar heat signature, no signs of traditional fusion, no natural process maintaining the structure's stability. It wasn't burning like a star or collapsing like a black hole. It was just there. Silent, immense, ancient, and utterly alien. Then came the second revelation, perhaps even more disturbing than the first. As Webb gathered more data, researchers noticed changes. The signal was evolving. Its intervals were shortening, and its complexity was increasing. Patterns of information began to resemble recursive algorithms, as if the signal was adjusting based on what was receiving it. Or worse, that it was observing back. It was as if the transmission was aware. Observatories worldwide scrambled to compare real-time changes. The signal's evolution showed signs of compression and adaptive encoding. Researchers noticed that as Earth-based systems attempted to analyze the pattern, the signal subtly adjusted, as though reacting to the nature of the decoding attempts. This feedback-like behavior threw the entire scientific community into disarray. Natural phenomena do not respond to observation in this manner. Quantum mechanics has taught us about the observer effect at the subatomic level, but this was something else entirely. It was intelligent in its architecture. It was behaving as though it knew it was being watched, and was reacting. Debate erupted across every scientific field. Was it a message, a beacon, a probe, or even some form of cosmic warning system left behind by an extinct civilization billions of years ago? The implications were unfathomable. If it was a message, It had been traveling for nearly the entire lifespan of the universe. That would mean that whatever intelligence sent it had existed near the beginning of time. If it was a warning, what danger had required such an immense signal system? And had that danger already passed? Or was it yet to come? Attempts to simulate the signal using Earth-based supercomputers ran into an eerie problem. The more accurate the simulation, the more unstable the computing systems became. Several data centers experienced cascading system failures as they modeled the waveform with increasing precision. Not due to hardware overloads, but something more peculiar. Errors that propagated through unrelated processes, as though the signal contained recursive code that interacted with its host system. A few researchers began to whisper about self-replicating data structures, digital contagion, even the possibility of non-human intelligence encoded within the signal itself. This wasn't science fiction anymore. It was unfolding in real time under the scrutiny of the most advanced scientific minds humanity had to offer. The Vatican called an emergency summit. Defense agencies worldwide raised security levels. For a time, even public-facing observatories went dark with updates, leading to waves of speculation and panic. Was it a form of contact? A cosmic artifact? A trigger? Perhaps the most unsettling aspect came from gravitational analysis. The signal's point of origin, though visually stationary, seemed to be exerting an inexplicable influence on the space-time around it. Not gravitational pull in the traditional sense, but a form of distortion, like localized time dilation. Instruments recorded that light passing near the structure was delayed beyond what general relativity would predict. There was no known cause. The implication was chilling. The structure might be manipulating time itself. This possibility opened doors to even more profound questions. If time could be altered or compressed within the region of the signal, could this be an ancient relic not from the early universe, but something placed there deliberately to appear old? Camouflaged by the fabric of the cosmos itself? Or worse, could it be active now and what we were seeing was not a relic, but a functioning device operating under a different temporal flow? Every avenue of thought pointed to one staggering conclusion. Humanity was no longer the sole technological intelligence in the universe. The implications of this were vast. The anthropic principle, the Fermi paradox, the Drake equation, all our efforts to rationalize the silence of the universe crumbled under the weight of this evidence. We had been wrong, dead wrong. We weren't alone, and perhaps we had never been. The discovery catalyzed a philosophical crisis. The deepest questions of existence were no longer metaphysical. They were empirical, measurable, and terrifyingly close. Were we a mistake, an experiment, or an irrelevant species crawling across a rock in the wake of cosmic titans? The signal was both too ancient and too advanced to fit into any existing framework of understanding. It was not meant for us, and yet, here we were, staring at its face, trying to make sense of its gaze. A growing contingent of physicists suggested that the structure might be a form of interstellar communication relay, not between planets, but between dimensions or universes. The signal's properties, particularly its gravitational anomalies and pattern shifts, defied three-dimensional spatial logic. Some theorized it might be a multi-dimensional construct, barely projecting into our universe, like a shadow from a higher plane of existence. That meant the signal we were detecting could be a byproduct, a side effect, of something far more complex happening in a realm we cannot perceive. Others posited that it was a warning system, a kind of cosmic firewall, meant to keep something in, or us out. Its repeating prime sequences might not be a message, but a lock. If that was true, the question remained, who built the lock, and what were they trying to contain? Amid the speculation, another troubling feature emerged. By analyzing historical cosmic data from older telescopes, researchers found fragments of the same signal buried in noise, pieces of the same prime sequence echoing faintly across time. They had been overlooked for decades, dismissed as statistical anomalies. The signal had always been there, waiting, growing stronger, or perhaps waiting to be noticed. Now that it had been seen, would it change? The world paused, not from fear of war, nor disease, nor economic collapse, but from a collective moment of existential awe. The very nature of reality had just shifted. The James Webb Telescope had pierced through the veil of cosmic silence and touched something on the other side. Not a ghost, not a god, not a galaxy, but something worse and more wondrous: proof. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on what the James Webb just discovered out there? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.